Good morning. It is a chilly one today. Bobble hat is on, and it's actually 4 years today that I started this channel. Can you believe? Exactly 4 years. And I thought, what better place to start this from where it began. There she is, the grapevine plot, how it all started, and the view is still spectacular. But let's pop inside and have a look. So as you can see, the grapevine plot has changed so much, but it looks lovely, and I mean, it's how they want it, and that's the main. But let's have a look around, because some things are still here and some things have changed. So as you can see, there's a polytunnel on this side now, and if you remember, there used to be raised beds going all the way down either side of this main path, which has stayed, and my original gate, which is actually nice to see. And if you remember, all my ranch fencing that I put all around the plot is still here. And then over here there used to be some raised beds, some grapevines. I think a previous plot holder, not the ones that are here now, another previous plot holder took out a lot of this stuff here. And if you remember, my greenhouse was here, and the pond is still here. They've put like a little patio area around, but the pond is there. If you remember, I built that with my brother. It's nice to see that there's chickens still on this allotment plot, and one of them is my original chicken as well. So yeah, it's nice to see. The cherry tree still here. My potting shed is gone now, but the chicken coop, that chicken coop is still here, and it's going strong, and it's had a bit of an extension since. This was my original shed. It's pink and grey now. I still remember putting Christmas lights around this and having a Christmas tree in the window. But as you can see, the shed is still here, and it looks different. But this is the thing about an allotment, is how the person wants it. But it's just lovely to see that there's chickens here, and yeah, this plot took some bark, I tell you. I mean, it's completely different now, but you can still see some of the basics that were still here when I built it. You know, they've still got the cherry tree, my potting shed, the chicken coop, and yeah, you can see all the fencings around. It looks a lovely plot still, and a part of me always thinks, did I make the right decision? Because I loved this plot. I absolutely loved it. The only reason I moved further up the site was because of, you know, the location. It was next to the fig and olive plot, and yeah, I wanted a polytunnel, but this plot is such a nice plot. You know, it's got a lovely feel about it as well, and you can see these new plot holders have revamped all this and, you know, brought some love back to this plot. Oh, and the chicken coop still got all the branches that I popped in, and this area that I built up here, and it's just so strange to come here now. But they've extended this side as well, and to be honest, that was always in my plans as well, to make this bigger if I stayed on this plot. But you can just tell that they absolutely adore their chickens. And if you remember, there was a mini polytunnel from First Tunnels across here, and right next to the potting area that was here at one point. But now this is on Lisa's plot further up, and she uses it for more of a standing greenhouse, and she grows like chilies, tomatoes, peppers and all in it very, very well. So it's nice to see that some of the things that were here are still being used by other plot holders. So I'm going to head back up now to my plot now, but it was just nice to come down and have a look at how the plot's going on. And thank you so much everyone who have subscribed, who have watched. You know, the channel's now at 10k, 4 years in, over 1.5 million views, and we're going strong. But yeah, let's get back to the plot. So thank you so much for everyone who does support the channel, and happy 4 years grow up. And I mean, it has had a few names over the years. It started off as the Grapevine Allotment channel. Then it went to the Grapevine Garden, because I was growing a lot more flowers and whatnot on the plot as well. And then we settled with Grow Up, but I feel like that's the right name now for the channel. But yeah, it's nice to come down. but I still jaw drop at that view every time I come down. I mean, I do get that view, but I'm closer to it here, and it's such a lovely area to be growing in. But I do not miss traipsing bags of bark, wheelbarrows of manure up this big steep hill. So there is some plus to move in plots. And we're back on the plot, and there's plenty to do on this site. There's so many weeds now and plants that need to be ripped out, composted and sorted out as well, because I'm over here today waiting for my wood delivery to turn up, and they've not turned up yet, but I'm hoping it'll be very soon, and then I can start storing it in the polytunnel and then start the shed build very, very soon. So all the materials will be here now, and thank goodness for that, it'll be done. It'd be nice to use that now in autumn and winter. And if you've been a long standing viewer of the channel, you'll know that I cook in the shed. It turns into more like a log cabin style. There's a little kitchen in there, and there's a log burner in there that you can heat up. It's just really nice to have. And yeah, it'd be nice to get that back up to scratch, because it's being used for storage at the moment. So I need to get all that out, sort it all out, and just start building that perfect potting shed that I desperately need. So all the wood's in, it's all storing now in the polytunnel, keeping dry, ready for the build. So that should be coming up now in the next week or two, depending on other things, but we shall see. But I want to tackle what's left of the sprout bed, because it looks terrible. You know, a lot of them have not come to anything, and I've got some leaks in there. A lot of the leaves are falling down, so I want to give it a good tidy, maybe give it a good feed as well, and yeah, maybe net it all up. Maybe who knows what's going on today. But yeah, let's get something done, because I'm starting to hate certain areas on the plot, and I know that this is what normally happens on an allotment. You'll get messy areas and you'll get parts that need a lot of work ready for spring, but I just don't like it. So we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprouts in here, I think, yeah. And some have done okay, some haven't. Let me get a bucket. But there's whitefly, and that's not good. But it is what happens with a lot of brassicas, especially sprouts. The frost might knock a lot of it off, but there's also a lot of manky leaves and whatnot. I won't be taking these home for the home composter. I don't want all these flying around the house. So I'm going to clear off a lot of this and hope. It's snowing like Christmas Day here. Oh, you know when you think that was a clever idea at the time? What did you have for lunch, Danny? Whitefly. Now, if you haven't already, remove some of the leaves around your sprouts. These are actually perfect if they're not covered in sticky gunk, and you can actually cook them up like a nice cabbage, and they've got a nice strong sprout flavour to them. But we'll see what happens with these. They look okay on the top, to be fair. The winter will knock off a lot of these whitefly as well. Once it gets really cold, they tend to die off a bit. But God, it is, honestly, it's snowing here. And the worst thing is, these were netted. But they always seem to get in. God, look at it. It's terrible. Oh, God. So yeah, these ones didn't do any good. Now I've got some leeks in here as well. If you remember, I put them in, oh God, a few months ago. They're doing okay, but this bed has been neglected a bit, and all these dead leaves on the floor will be lovely homes for slugs. So, taking them all out. Now, not quite sure what to do. You can make a formula up of some soapy water and spray it on the plants, and that will knock them back as well. So I might do that. This is not a fun job. And they're sticky as well, that's the thing. Let's put some gloves on. A bit late now, but yeah, I kind of want to sort this out, and I'm thinking about taking this one out. I don't know, the sprouts look okay. What to do? Now, it's not been the best year for sprouts. These ones are okay, these ones will come. These ones are okay, these ones are huge on here. So I'm happy about these. So this one is, because I labelled them all, brilliant sprouts. There was two other here that were the Brody, and I was really looking forward to them, but they didn't come to anything. They came to tiny little plants. So maybe I'll try again next year. This bed could probably do with a good feed, and I've learnt that over the last year that I need to be feeding them a bit more because I'm taking so much out of the soil, and I missed last year of putting any manure down, and I didn't put much compost on this bed either. So you learn every year, and I've always been a good advocate of whatever you put in, you'll get back tenfold. So yeah, don't don't chance it and be like, it'll be okay. It won't. It really won't. You need to be feeding your beds, and you'll get better crops for it. It's not all about just sowing seeds and then giving them a good water. They get really hungry too, and if you feed them well, you get bigger crops. So I wasn't on potty mouth on Monday after I said I was going to be. Now I was all geared up, all the sound checks, all the tech checks were done, and we went live at 3 o'clock, and Vodafone decided to crash the whole network at 3 p.m. So there was no internet in my house at all. or on my phone. So that's pretty much why I wasn't there. I was there, sat there, but look at this. Honestly, this is terrible. They're riddled. They're absolutely riddled. I might have to sack these off for this year. So there might not be any sprouts for Christmas. Which is a shame because they're really compact. But we'll see what happens. It's getting colder now, so hopefully I won't get too much of a problem. I'm wondering what to do for the best. So what are you all doing in your gardens at the moment? Have you closed it down for autumn and winter? Or are you plodding on and carrying on with the jobs like me? I mean, some people do it the other way around and they just get it all ready before, and some then race in early spring, which both ways that work, I guess. But both ways kind of work, I suppose, but I just prefer to be prepared, even though it doesn't feel like I'm prepared right now. All those little things that make this plot look a bit messy right now, they'll all come together in the end like a nice jigsaw, and the plot will be beautiful again. So have faith in your garden. Now the plan is to stake these now. Do you know what? I'm going to sack this one off. Sorry, little dude. I mean, they probably won't come to anything. I love sprouts as well. You either love them or you hate them. So there's 5 in this bed now. That's madness, absolute madness. Right, let me sort this and I'll get back to you. There we go. I'm going to give it a little hoe over now, just to get rid of a few of those annual weeds. And then I'm tempted to give it a feed now of manure. Yeah, I think I'm going to, because they might bulk up a bit then. But they're looking okay, I will say. They're not too bad, but this this whitefly, this snow machine in here, is shocking. I tell you what, those bags of manure that I gathered up a few weeks ago, they haven't lasted long. I think I'm going to need some more. Now hopefully that'll all wash in now, and the whitefly will bugger off. Now I absolutely love these. They're one of my favourite things to have in the garden, is some fencing pins. Now they're perfect for sprouts and putting some stability to a plant. So you just pop them in and it'll stop the wind from rocking them in winter. Because what will happen is the wind will shake these vigorously all the time, causing root rot. That'll panic the plant, thinking that it's going to fall over and die. And then it makes all the sprouts explode. And you then end up with these nice tight sprouts. There we go. Now I'll cable tie them to there as well, just to make sure that they stay nice and secure. Now the same applies for this bed. You wonder where all these weeds come from. These have got calaboss in. Some have done fantastic considering. And these are the purple sprouting broccoli, which I don't want being squashed by the netting. So I need to bring up the netting really, and the hoops up higher. And I've got a plan for that. But overall, These aren't so bad. The calaboss are looking beautiful. I mean, there's one or two that hasn't done very well at all. But these overall have done fantastic again this year. And if you haven't grown them, calaboss, God, they're a beautiful one to sow in summer. And you've got them all the way through the winter as well, because they stay in the ground and they do very well. I mean, you weed these beds and they're all lovely with compost all through spring and summer. And when you take the nets off, even the white ones where you can see through, you are horrified at what you find underneath. Right, let's clear this bed. This soil is becoming better and better the more that I feed it and put compost onto it. But this was mainly clay and very dense and hard. But so far, I'm breaking it up and digging it in, and it's mixing well. Why don't slugs eat dock leaves and dandelions and all those weeds like nettles? Why don't they eat all those, you know? Why wasn't they created to taste nice to bugs, to give us a chance? You know, and I know people are going to say, oh, nettles are nice. And that's a personal choice, I suppose. But and they're very good for you. But why don't the slugs and all the pests like those? Why do they always like the things we like as well? This bed's not as bad with whitefly, the sprouts, God, terrible. But these, not so bad. Not so bad, I suppose, but dreadful. There we go. That's the swede bed having a bit of a tidy as well. Now there's 20 swede left here for winter, and I think there was about 40 in here, so we got half left. Now I've started putting the nets back on, but I will change these to a wider net, because in winter the only pest really that are going to affect the brassicas is a pigeon, and I prefer to have a wider bird net on it because it lets the wind through and more rain, and yeah, there's no need to have these on. And plus the wind keep blowing these off and stuff as well, so it will help with all the wind damage and whatnot. So for now I'm going to pop them on, cut the bird net into to shape and bring it over. So yes, that's the plan. So the last bed in this area here. Now there is plans for this, and I haven't decided yet whether or not to make like a brassica cage. If you haven't seen Mal over at the Veg Plot Man, honestly, one of my favourite channels, he's got like this opening brassica cage. It's just a big box that's meshed off, and it works perfectly, and I think that might be a good solution to have for things like sprouts that need a bit of height and constantly, you know, need adjusting. And I could put the purple sprout and broccoli and whatnot in, and I might make shorter ones for the cabbages. The hoops are perfect, but for the taller ones I want something more of a walk-in. So who knows, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with that, because I see a lot of allotment tiers, they got like these, they're kind of like a fruit cage, but they can walk in and they can sort out their brassicas, and I mean, that's lovely. But I'm worried that it might, you know, stick out too much on the plot over here. And I do like this 6-bed system that I use over on this area, but who knows. So I'm just knocking back a lot of the weeds. I mean, there are some annuals in here, but there is some perennials as well that will keep coming back, like the docks. So I will have to dig them up. But for now, I just want to give it a little tickle over and make sure that this area is done, and possibly bark the paths as well, just to finish this area a bit, even if I get to here, you know. We shall see. Now there are some small onions in here as well, and they've grown to maybe a golf ball size, but waste not, want not. they'll be perfect for pickled onions. Oh. Ooh, bit of a workout today. It'll be worth it in the end, definitely. I've noticed a few of these beds now which were brought from the Grapevine plot, and they're 4 years old, but they're already starting to crumble a bit. So some of these will have to be replaced, maybe this year, maybe next year or the year after. But yeah, nothing lasts forever on the plot, but unless you've got the metal beds, which is what I love about the fig and olive plot, because they'll outlive me. But on here, you have to keep replacing things. Whew. Well, that was I recorded. 4 years and I'm still getting it wrong. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane down in the Grapevine plot. And yeah, it's strange whenever I go past it and I see it, but I'm glad that it's being used and there's chickens on there and they're, you know, very much in love with the whole growing, you know, situation down there. So I'm glad it's being used. But for now, it's been 4 years for me. I'm on these two beautiful plots. I cannot be, you know, more happier where I am. And here's to the next 40 years of growing vegetables. I'm Danny and this is Grow Up.